crap, it's hot out here. Only had some water. Camera guy, you got a water bottle? Ah man, it's a battle bottle. Always stay healthy and stay hydrated. Welcome back to Iron Infidel, everybody. Today we're going to talk about comfort. And there's a lot of sayings out there in firearms world like capacity is king, accuracy is king, but when we're talking about your EDC life and carrying around your Second Amendment rights, your pistol every single day, comfort is king. And the reason I say that is because if you are not comfortable with everything that you're wearing, you're probably not going to be carrying. So one of the things that comes into that obviously is the size of your pistol, which version you decide to go with. Full size, compact, subcompact, micro, completely up to you. But one of the biggest things that's going to affect your comfort out there on a daily basis is a belt. And today we're going to be talking about a belt from a good friend of mine, Hunter Constantine. He is a grandmaster competitive shooter. I've done videos with him in the past. He is absolutely blazing amazing out there on the range. And he likes comfort so much that he's known for showing up to competition in sandals or Crocs just to make fun of people out there on the range. Since he's a grandmaster, he can do things like that. But he has devised a belt that is extremely flexible, yet very rigid. It's a pretty cool design. It's the one I've been wearing out here on the range today. And we're gonna go over what this is because it's very different than most Cobra buckle belts or fully stiff belts out there in the market today. Now, when we are talking about an EDC belt, there's really three things that I want to look for in an EDC belt. We're not talking about a battle belt, a duty belt, nothing like that. You got to have a really good attachment point or buckle, right? So it has to stay fastened so it doesn't come loose and your pistol or holster goes flying all over the world. It has to be rigid at some point on that belt so it's able to hold the clips on your holster. And then finally, I want flexibility in there. And the reason I want flexibility is because that's going to give you that ultimate in comfort. Now, the really cool thing about the way that Hunter designed this belt is it's a simple G-hook design. That design has been around forever. It's well tested out there in the world and it is well proven. In fact, very many underbelts for duty belts or battle belts out there in the world have a G-hook design. He took that a little bit further and gave you some easy adjustability. So rather than having to mess around with adjustments and ratchet systems or different, this piece goes through this part of the G-hook, that piece goes through this, and you got to push it and move it, kind of like your traditional sling design. He's giving you two G-hook attachment points native to the belt. One is meant for when you're not carrying, and the other one gives you that extra inch, which if you think about it, most guns are about an inch wide with that holster. So that tightens it up if you want to not wear the gun, and you loosen it up to that next hook, and that allows you to easily transition to carrying your pistol should you be in an environment where you're taking it off, putting it on, maybe going in an office or going somewhere you can't carry your piece that day. You want that flexibility in the belt without having to adjust the belt completely. And next up is going to be that flexibility. And this is where that maximum comfort comes in. So over half or just about half of this belt is made out of an extremely flexible yet durable material. It's also US made, so that's a huge positive as well. This is going to give you the ability to not only expand when you're wearing that holster or when you're bending forward, moving around from left to right, but also maybe you had that extra large chimichanga for lunch or a little too much pasta after work. Maybe a couple of beers. Either way, it's going to give you that ability to expand and retract without feeling like the belt or your holster is completely digging into your body. Now, that's also going to be attached to the G-hook design, which is going to give you the ability to adjust it even further should you lose a little bit of weight or, God forbid, gain a little bit of weight. Next up is that rigidity. So the other half of this belt is made of that extremely rigid material that we want, so we can connect our holster directly to that. Whether it's overhooks, utility clip, whatever you're running out there, this gives you the ability to clip that holster on and be confident that it's going to retain your belt. Now, that part being rigid in the front is also going to keep it up and around your waist, so it's not going to be bouncing around and flopping around all day. And as you put this belt on, which we're going to show obviously, and you slide it over, it moves the rigid part to the front where you want it, but puts the flexible part in the back. The problem with other flexible design belts in the world is generally they start to bunch up in the rear because of the belt loops on your pants. Well, the cool thing about this belt is since that material is meant to just be bungee-like, it doesn't bunch up at all. It just goes right back to its natural form when you take it off. So again, ultimate flexibility in the back, ultimate stiffness up in the front. And yes, I meant to say that. One of the problems with belts that were fully flexible in the past is when you went to draw your pistol or put your holster on, there was too much flexibility and it either bowed forward, sagged out, couldn't keep the weight of the gun tight to your body, or when you went to draw, the belt literally just lifted up with the holster. That's the difference with the Hunter Constantine belt. Since it's partially rigid and partially flexible when you draw, just like you saw it here today, I had no problems getting that pistol out of the holster, up on target, reholstering. It's that fine line between flexible enough, but not too flexible to the point where it's damaging to your draw times, your speed, getting that in and out of the holster. So that's kind of the magic of that 50-50 design. Now let's talk about how this thing actually goes on, how you wear it, and those options that it has, because those are very important. Obviously, the thing is going to go through your belt loops like any other belt. However, you're going to want to put the rigid side through first, obviously, because that's going to be far easier than trying to put the flexible side through your belt loops. Once you get that through, you attach it to whichever G-hook you choose after you've made your adjustments for tightness around your waist. Remember that the outermost or the longest attachment point is going to be for when you're wearing your holster, and the next one in is going to be for when you are not wearing your holster. So you don't have to use that little slide attachment each time you decide to wear or not wear your holster. That's part of the magic of this belt as well. Once you have that in and set up, you're going to go ahead and slide that belt over so that rigid part is all the way in front of your body. That way you've got the rigid stuff up front and it's loose in the back, so you have that flexibility and comfort, so you can move around side to side, bend over, pick something up, and the holster's not digging into you like it would with a traditionally fully rigid belt. When it comes to the materials and the cost, it is made here in the US. It's made of all high quality materials. The stitching's solid. Like, again, it's not a duty belt or a battle belt. You're not going to be hanging out of a helicopter or doing some kind of spy rig with this thing, but it's going to do everything you need it to do for EDC. Hunter Constantine on his website, he's got a ton of different color options now. He's got different camo patterns, all the solid color patterns, I think, so you can check that out. And when it comes to the cost, you're looking at 115 bucks. Now, I know that may sound expensive to some of you out there, but again, we got a belt that's made here in the US. It's specifically designed for EDC. It's going to last a long time and it's extremely comfortable. So that may or may not be within your budget. However, it's a belt that I've been wearing for probably the past 7 months. And I think it's probably one of the best EDC belts out there in the world. Now, if you're looking for information on battle and duty belts, I've got some videos up on that already. I will be doing more as more belts come in. And I will also be doing comparisons on other EDC belts against the Hunter Constantine and several others out there in the market. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Check out ironinfidel.com. Get yourself that battle bottle, whether you want the big one or the small one. We got whatever you need, fitness equipment and other products that are going to be dropping soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and I'll see you on the next one.